Action, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
There we go.
We're on time.
All right.
Woo! That is amazing.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Sonia, and I'm your Sergeant of Arms. Welcome to Beyond the World Toastmasters Group. Yay! And I'd like to share our mission statement with you. Our club mission statement is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So, be it. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce Madam President, Gloria Parker.
Oh, that's me.
There you go.
Okay, so, guys, this is a speaking thing, and you're supposed to know what you're supposed to say. Isn't this interesting? Okay, hi.
Hi.
Hi. God, I'm so glad to see so many people that I invited that are here. Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. So, we just got some more rules. You know, we're learning, right? I mean, this is a brand new club. From my understanding, there's not a Roswell club for Toastmasters at the present moment, and
There is now.
yeah, official. And I don't know that there is a spiritual Toastmasters.
This is the first ever on the
Not that you
planet.
know of, right? Is that it? Is it, Deb?
As far as we know, it's the first one, yes.
So, I mean, and we're not going to make you, take any kind of test to come in the door to check everybody's spirituality, of course. But this is going to, in my humble opinion, it's going to help. What I loved, let me just go back 2 meetings ago. I watched you. Yes. And I saw that this was such a fabulous thing, Toastmasters. Of course, it's been around for eons and they've helped many, many people. But we actually had 8 of you and David here. And we were talking, like, you guys don't get any money. You actually pay. You take your evenings away from your busy day to come and help people learn how to advance their speaking skills, because it doesn't matter if we get speaking skills, we can advance in our world. I mean, it's pretty simple when you break down all the parameters to it. So, not everybody has the same personality, but when you speak with somebody that knows how to talk and how they know how to hold your attention, et cetera, it's pretty damn amazing what they can do for themselves in their own lives and then share with you. So it's always been, the foundation is always amazing, but what got me is that none of these people, there was 8 people that came to our first meeting, like Debbie and like David, that helped us. And when I realized, because I knew nothing about this, and when I realized the heart, I got really interested. Hi, Barb. Welcome, honey. And so I was just very excited about that. Was my first click, because I've been in metaphysics 30 years. I really don't do anything that's not heartfelt. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so that is what made me, when I was sitting in the room and I said, those people are going to teach us a lot. But what I saw was what I see often in mainstream is they also want to be a part of something more. They want to be a part of learning more, learn more modalities, learn more about what we do, who we are. And so it was a give and it was a give and it was a take, and I saw that. So the second meeting, there was enough people here to actually make us a club. And that was through, David, that was through their help, but David really pushed it and pushed me, not pushed me in a bad way, but I'm a 5, I don't do anything much. Got any kind of structure. I just don't. So, and I know it, it's okay. But anyway, so I just want to thank everybody, and I want to, what I asked him upstairs when we had our first real meeting of the officers was, can I legitimately spend a minute telling every new person about the vision? Because to me, we are going to do it all. We're going to eat, drink, make new friends, we're going to party, and then we're going to learn how to be better speakers to advance our life. And I may not be always in that order, but it's damn always going to be in the mix. Yeah, it's like, we can mix that where we'll learn more, and that can change around. But I really felt like this would be something new, and the thing that they do, which a lot of it, David said, well, the first talks that you do is you talk about you. And and so, like I just met this man yesterday. I was at his place. Yes, his name is Terry. And Terry has a very unique thing that he does. He has equipment, workout equipment. But he has this bag that's twice the size of this board filled with oxygen. And while you're working out for 15 minutes, he does something with the oxygen and stops it so that your body, all your capillaries, gets the oxygen in the capillaries, where when you're done with the workout, you feel totally exonerated. It's like you're just on this euphoric space, and it's the best you could do for your body for 15 minutes. And so I was like blown away. I wanted to go meet him, and I wanted to learn about the oxygen, because I love the oxygen stuff. So, and I asked him to come, and he's here, and I'm thrilled. I'm just honored that you're here. Okay. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like old friends, new friends, but we are going to get to know you. It's not going to be the normal BS where you go up to somebody and hug them and, hi, how are you? And all that bull. We are going to get to meet new friends. And you're not going to connect with everybody in this room, but you know what? You don't need to. You need to build one or two good relationships, and everything's successful. So I'm hoping that we do that. And right now, I would love for you guys everybody to stand up who has not been to a meeting before, who was just here to check us out and tell us who you are. Will you do that for me?
Thank you. One at a time.
We'll break the ice right now.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Fambro, and this is the first time that I've come to this meeting. I was invited by a member of another group that I'm a part of. I'm a part of two different Toastmasters. One is the North Gwinnett group, which Debbie and David are a part of, and a lady by the name of Cindy who comes to this group and invited me. So I'm happy to be here, and I love Toastmasters. I've actually been in Toastmasters for about 2.5 years now, and it's really expanded my speaking skills, so I'm excited to be here.
Well, we are
And she is a new area director.
Oh.
Not our area director, but a new area director.
Wow. Congratulations. See, that's awesome. That's awesome. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Terry Tutt, and I retired from the Navy after 20 years. I was in submarines and traveled the world. Spent a year in China, spent a year in Australia. Developed software for a number of years, and now my new mission is a bulletproof human potential coach. So my mission is to spread the message that we can age more gracefully, in a more healthy way.
Yes.
We can eat well, feel well, think well into the 90s, 100s. What's the limit? What's the limit?
Yes. You're next. I'm next. Miss Queen.
I love you too. I'm Barbara Crawford, friend of Gloria. Been meaning to get here for a while. Actually, I've had a fear of speaking for so long. It's terrified. Throw up before I go out. So this is important to me. I've been asked to speak a number of times, and I've been terrified. So I'm looking forward to learning how to get over this.
My name's Renee, and Gloria invited me to Toastmasters, and I have a home business, so I've been away from people since 2011, and I've been ready to come back out again. But I'm a little bit nervous about speaking in crowds. You know, I get up and turn around and look at everybody, so that's really hard for me, the eye contact. And everybody's so pretty, and I should just look at more people and talk to them more often. But I'm glad to be here.
My name is Cheryl, and I've known Gloria for years, probably about 30. I am quite fearful of speaking in front of crowds. In the school, I remember I stuttered and I couldn't even get through it and was just crying. It was horrible. So I'm here to help with my confidence because I'm going to be interviewing soon. And I just want to be able to go in there and sell myself.
And I'm Carol, because it rhymes with Cheryl. And Gloria and Christine invited me, so I'm happy to be here. And I've done a little bit of speaking, but it's always great to get out and meet new people and continue to hone that craft. So it's great to see all your beautiful faces.
Anybody else? Okay. So anyway, that's really awesome. I mean, if we can do this like every couple of weeks, I mean, it'll be tremendous to have this kind of energy, and I think we will. I think that we're going to do this, just shake it up just enough and be, and like I said, build more friendships where you've had a hard day at work and you rush here in traffic and you have a glass of wine and something to eat and you're with your friends and you're learning and you're also sharing. I mean, I don't know of anything that would bring me out, and I pretty much, you know, I've been, that would bring me out if I knew I could, oh my God, I love that lady I met at the meeting, I want to go, you know, check her out, or I connect with somebody and I want to build a friendship or something, which all of us should be interested in. You never have enough friends, believe me. So anyway, and I'm really surprised that I can get up here and talk to anybody because, well, what I've actually done is all of you are naked. Well, I heard that one time. But when you're in front of it, now that's not true.
No, it's not true.
Oh,
I
it's
did
not.
not.
Did he tell you that? Did he tell you that?
No, but I've always heard that. Like,
Gloria,
you know,
there are a lot of rooms. If I did that, I'd go running out crying and screaming.
So this
well,
is
it's
not
supposed
the
to make you feel superior, I guess, on some level. I don't know what it does, but anyway, and I'm kidding. But sort of. Anyway, so let's get on with the meeting. Am I done? Am I done?
Yes.
So and
Pretty
now,
sure, yeah.
and now I'm going to introduce my sweet friend, Christina. Love her. And this is what I'm saying. We have a story. So when we're supposed to talk, we will share how we met several years ago because it's a cute ass story. And so, you know, instead of, I mean, it'll be cute, it'll be fun, it'll be cute, and you know, and this is how, you know, somebody else will say, wow, you know, you met like that. And I'm like, yeah, we did, you know. So that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cute. Anyway.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Christine Andrews and I am the Toastmaster MC. And I'm not sure, just so you know, I'm kind of both worlds. I work at UPS in corporate and international finance and accounting, but my other life is healing and all of that stuff. So I've done the Competent Communicator. I did my 10, you know, at UPS, so it was all very corporate. So this is kind of fun to do in this modality. So it's great. So just getting on, we have some changes to our agenda that I wanted to let you know about. Debbie Lawhorn, instead of being the word of the day grammarian, it's going to be Tiffany Fambro, because Debbie is going to give a speech after David is. Her title of her speech is Be Intentional, and it's from 5 to 7 minutes. Also, I'd like to introduce the different people that are going to participate. We have an awe counter, which is Carolyn Moden. Would you like to stand up?
and tell us what you're going to do.
Oh, so I am counting the ums and you knows and so. I will keep count of how many times you do that at any given moment when you're speaking.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure.
So Tiffany is going to do the word of the day, grammarian.
Thank you, and as the grammarian, I'm also gonna look at speech format, language throughout the meeting, and I'm also gonna give you the word of the day. The word of the day is ameliorate. 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 Thank you, David. I listened to it on my phone, and I was still like, ameliorate. The definition is to make better, specifically to make something bad better. An example is, she tried to ameliorate her headache with Advil. That's the word of the day.
Carolyn Lusky is going to be the timer and ballot counter. The paddles.
Is that what these are? Okay. So I'll let you know when you're on green, you're still good, and if you're on yellow, you need to finish up soon. Otherwise, you're gonna be on red.
Thank you. And Anna Banguila.
B's fine.
Okay, thank you. If you could give us the joke of the day.
Are you ready for that?
Yes, we're ready.
All right, my joke of the day. This is from my kid file, all right? Why do bicycles fall over?
Why?
Why?
Because they are too tired.
That is cute. So now I'm going to introduce the Toastmasters speakers. These.
We need band leaders.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, because Debbie was going to evaluate David, now we need. Would anyone like to evaluate the speeches? Tiffany, you'll be. Does anybody else want to evaluate, or Tiffany, you're okay with doing both speeches?
Oh, good.
Wow. Okay, so we're all set with that. And now we can introduce our prepared speakers. The first speaker will be David Spiegler. And as of 2 days ago, he became a DTM. Which
And President's Distinguished.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what everything
Distinguished
means.
Toastmasters, the highest designation in Toastmasters that you can go. And as a club, the metrics in our club start with becoming distinguished, and that is 5 out of 10 goals. And we'll talk about goals in another meeting because there's a lot of layers to it. I know the officers probably today just got a little bit, but we'll, as a club, be discussing those throughout the year. As we give speeches and we do our leadership roles and we do things in the community and we do things with each other, those are all things that we're going to be marking within our club. 5 goals is distinguished. 7 or better is select distinguished. 9 or better is President's Distinguished, and that means that you worked your tushy off to get to be President's Distinguished. And David became that President's Distinguished Area Director, which means 4 of his clubs all were distinguished or better, and 50% of his clubs were President's Distinguished or better. And so that is that. The other thing is Distinguished Toastmaster. We're all Toastmasters when we join. But to become Distinguished Toastmaster, there's a lot of things that you have to do during your time as a Toastmaster. Become a district leader, serve for 1 year. You have to do 30-some odd speeches. You have to do a ton of leadership. What else? You have to do a high-performance leadership project. It goes on and on and on. But Distinguished Toastmaster is the highest designation, and David just received his 4 days ago.
Wow.
Like an angel receiving his wings, just like that.
And a little better.
Wow.
So he is going to be speaking for 10 to 15 minutes, so whoever the timer is, know that.
10, 12 and a half, and 15.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, and the topic will be mentoring, and thank you very much for coming and speaking.
Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, welcome Beyond the World of Toastmasters members, guests, everyone, all the beautiful people here. I wanted to talk with you this afternoon or this evening about mentoring as it pertains to mentoring a club and mentoring the members within the club. Debbie just sort of touched on a few of the different elements that a good club will achieve those different levels of distinction, distinguished, select distinguished, president's distinguished. You yourselves can achieve different things like, for example, DTM, but there are a lot of steps along the way to get there, so it's not like, all or nothing. And this club is going to look to grow, and it's a brand new club. So I wanted to talk about the issue of mentoring, because a lot of times when you get into something new, it's a little bit scary. And I love the fact that a lot of you guys who are here for the first time offer your own perspectives on what you're looking for. That it's a little bit nerve-wracking to speak in public, and how do you make eye contact, and how do you look at folks, and things like that. And so I want to just touch on that for a moment. I hadn't planned on talking, but I figured, let's talk about that. And for those of you, I apologize, those of you who've heard this part of my speech before, when I spoke here at our very first demo meeting, I mentioned the fact that if you're looking for the poster child of nervous speakers, that would be me. Because the first time I remember speaking in public was in 8th grade. And I had to write up a little thing on current events. It was just a one-pager, and I didn't have to memorize it and give a speech like I'm doing now. All I had to do was just read what's there. And I started shaking and quivering, and the paper was shaking as I was, there I am with my one piece of paper, and I'm shaking like this so badly that by the time I sat down, there were creases in the page. So I feel your pain. I have been there, and I think each of us that have been in Toastmasters has been there at some point. So don't worry, it gets better. And you don't have to look at people like they're naked, because I don't know how to ameliorate that pain in certain rooms. But nevertheless, one of the things, as I said, I wanted to talk about the issue of mentoring. And I want to talk about it at two levels. One is in terms of mentoring individuals, and individual Toastmasters, and secondly, I'd like to talk about the issue of mentoring the club. So let's talk about it. You have come, for those of you that are here at the very first time, wondering, okay, how does this all work? What happens at a Toastmasters meeting? What goes on? What can I do? How will this benefit me? And all that good stuff. For those of you that are actually members, we just chartered this club 2 weeks ago. So this is a brand new club. Now, you guys who are members, and we just had an officers meeting a few minutes ago, you guys are all pros at this point, right? You know everything there is to know. You are all set to go, right? Right. It's like, I got this. You do you, right? But the fact is, it takes a while to kind of get the ropes and to figure out what you're doing. And that can be a very scary process anytime you're starting something new. And a lot of time it's helpful to talk to someone and get guidance from someone who's walked that path before, right? So, and I'm of the opinion that mentoring is a beneficial relationship on both sides. Sonia, when I first showed up here, she said, Dave, I got to ask you a question. Why in the world do you do this? You've done all these clubs, you remember all these different clubs, you've done these different, why are you helping us here, right? And I said, well, there are a lot of things that I get from it as well. Besides the fact that I'm delightful and lovely, and I just do this because I like to do it. But it's really beneficial for the mentor as well as the mentee. But rather than me just talking about this, I'd like to get your ideas about this. So if we think about the mentor-mentee relationship, let's start off with the mentee, the person who's getting the mentoring. What benefits, if I set up someone, let's say you join Toastmasters and I'm your mentor, and I'm helping because I've done this before and I guide you along the process, what benefit does that offer to the mentee? Anybody?
Guidance,
experience.
Comfort zone.
One-on-one. Okay, so you don't feel like, oh my God, I'm doing this all alone. You have a little bit of support. Okay, what else? Encouragement. There you go. Because there are going to be times when it's not going to go so well. You want someone to pat you on the back and say, hey, it's all right. Here's what you did well, but you can keep going. Any other ideas? Accountability. That's a big one, right? Because a lot of times I've seen it, when I've mentored a lot of Toastmasters over the years, and I've seen situations where it takes a lot of courage to get up here and do that first speech. It's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I've seen a lot of folks that they take the time, they build up the courage, and they go do it. And then they give that first speech, and they go, all right, glad that's done. and then they don't give the second speech. And then the longer the time goes, the harder, and then you have to like build your courage back up again. I always tell my mentees, give your first 3 speeches as quickly as you can. 1, 2, 3. Build that momentum. After that, you can coast a little bit. But get those first 3 out of the way, then it becomes a lot easier. Okay? So accountability is big because you may have to give that first speech, you may say, all right, you pushed me to that first speech, I'm done. It's done now, right? I don't have to worry about this for a while. And that mentor can help you to push you through that. All right? Any other ideas? What about for the mentor? What are the benefits of the mentor?
Sharing knowledge.
Sharing knowledge. So if I'm a mentor, how does that help me if I share my knowledge?
You're giving back.
Giving back, so I might feel good about that. Okay?
Helps
You
crystallize
might-
your own knowledge, because in order to explain it, you have to know it that much more well.
That's right. If you know, I mean, I may do my own thing, but if I'm teaching to someone else, I have to listen to myself, and it sort of reminds me of all the things. You know, they say that if you learn a new thing, if you just hear it, you will over time retain 10% of that knowledge. If you do it, you know, you don't just hear it, you actually do it and you practice it, you will retain 50% of it. If you do it and you teach it to someone else, you will retain 90% of it. So a lot of the times when I'm mentoring, I'm not just helping you, I'm also helping myself because it helps to remind me of all the basics. Because the fact of the matter is I've been doing this for a while and I can get into bad habits. There's certain things that I am prone to doing if I don't pay attention to it. But if I'm working with a mentee and I see them doing certain things and I can work with them and I say, wait a second, I've been forgetting that myself. It helps you to do that as well. So it can be very helpful for the mentor also. Any other ideas?
I feel like it would help with leadership because your different mentees all come from different walks of life, all in different levels. So it's helping you kind of man a room.
Absolutely. That's a huge issue, and I'm glad you brought that up. You know, this past year, Debbie mentioned I've served as an area director, and my term just ended on June 30th. And as over time, actually, you know, Nick and I were talking the other day about the different things I was doing, and the question is, well, why did you do all that? And sometimes I said, I don't know, why did I go through all that? Open 2 new clubs and support all these different clubs and do all these things and try to battle them and pull them along and get presidents distinguished. One of my clubs, and Debbie knows this well, one of my clubs called me an area dictator, not an area director. Can you believe that? But, you know, the question is, why do I do all that? And the answer is because it's about leadership. Because here's the thing, Toastmasters, a lot of people think about Toastmasters about public communication, about speaking. And that's absolutely true. The other part of Toastmasters is leadership. And a lot of folks are in this room they're not worried so much about how well they can communicate. They feel fairly okay about that side of it. It's leadership. And in particular, using my own example as area director, it's one thing if you're at a place of work and you have someone that you're their boss, and you tell them you have to go do that, and their paycheck depends on it, well, then they have to do it. How do you do that when the paycheck doesn't depend on it, when we're all volunteers?